Alright, you guys have no idea how lucky you have it. Tenpai just dropped in Master Duel. Fiddlesticks just came out in Legends of Runeterra. I have been dealing with the fallout from Hurricane Helene since September 27th. My work has never been busier. And yet I am here just recording videos for you guys on Rush still. You're welcome. Okay, so we're going to rapid fire these, get 6 videos recorded today. I'm going to schedule them all out, so if you want to watch all of them right now, you can become a member. Otherwise, just wait 5 days. We're going to start with Imaginary Actors. Imaginary Actors is a super fun deck. It basically focuses on countering the opponent as best as possible. You try and play dinosaur monsters against dinosaur decks, warrior monsters against warrior decks, dragons against dragon decks, and spellcasters against spellcaster decks. And you have a lot of different ways to try and exploit your opponent. It's also the deck that has the most fusion monsters and the most easy ways to make fusions, because you do need an Imaginary Actor, yes, but then you have a lot more fusion materials than just like one, like the other decks. So let's take a look at this. To start off, we have the skill. Now, I do not think Materion Script is the best skill for actors. I think that Shining Miracle is the best skill for actors. But Shining Miracle requires you to basically be playing 3 copies of this card, Star Restart, and I only have 1 right now, which is really annoying. I have 15 packs left in the box, and I only have gotten 1 Star Restart and 1 Imaginary Reactor so far. I was really tempted to just keep waiting until I got a second Star Restart so I could really showcase the deck, but I did promise that I would have these out this week in my community post, and it's now Thursday, so here we go. Alright, can be activated from turn 2 onward if all the monsters in your constructed deck are light attribute monsters with 500 defense points. Either send 1 Imaginary Actor or 1 monster reincarnation from your deck to the graveyard, each card only once per duel, or send 1 card from your hand to the graveyard and add 1 Imaginary Arc Turbo from your deck or graveyard to your hand. This turn, your opponent takes no battle damage from battles involving your monsters with 4,300 or more attack points. Okay, so what is the benefit of that? Imaginary Reactor lets you place Monster Reincarnation from your graveyard on the bottom of your deck to draw 2 cards, so that's why you want to mill Monster Reincarnation. Imaginary Actor can be returned to your hand with Star Restart, which is why you want to mill Imaginary Actor. And then it also, you need Imaginary Actor in your graveyard to use Imaginary Arc Turbo very well. Then Imaginary Arc Turbo gives one of your monsters 1,500 attack points if there is an Imaginary Actor in your graveyard, which is really solid, but if you use it on any of your fusion monsters, they will have 4,300 attack points, and then they can't deal any damage this turn. So you want to use it on your 1,400 attack monsters. Okay, for the main deck, we have Imaginary Reactor. If you have 10 or more cards in your deck, send the top 2 cards of your deck to the graveyard. This card's name becomes Imaginary Actor until the end of your opponent's next turn. I don't know why it's until the end of the opponent's turn. I'm not aware of any Imaginary Actor support otherwise. Then you can place 1 Monster Reincarnation from your graveyard on the bottom of your deck, and if you do, draw 2 cards. Pretty cool. Then we are playing no other effect monsters, so this will be fast. Sir Painter, Dragon, 1,400 attack, 500 defense. Sword Dancer, Warrior, 1,400 attack, 500 defense. Glaciosaurus, Dinosaur, 1,400 attack, 500 defense. Magic Juggler, 1,400 attack, 500 defense, Spellcaster. And then Imaginary Actor, level 1 machine, 500, 500. Okay, so that's all of them. If you're going to optimize the deck, I would cut 1 of each of these. Keep the 3 Imaginary Actors, but cut 1 of each of these. Put in 2 more Imaginary Reactors and 2 more Star Restarts. And then if you're going to play the Shining Miracle deck, I'm probably just going to have to make like another video for the Shining Miracle version. Monster Reincarnation, legend card, send 1 card from your hand to the graveyard, add 1 monster from your graveyard to your hand. It's really good. If you have this card, then you can play it, and it will be in your graveyard so you can use Imaginary Reactor's effect. Just a good card. Also a good reason to be milling Imaginary Actor. Star Restart, best card in the deck. Place 1 card from your hand on the bottom of your deck. Special summon 1 level 5 or lower normal monster from your graveyard to your field, then you can add 1 fusion from your graveyard to your hand. This is a great way to recycle your Imaginary Actor and your fusion. We're playing 1 copy of Talismanic Seal Array just to kind of fill out the deck. Shuffle 4 monsters from your graveyard into the deck. 1 face-up monster in your opponent's field loses attack equal to its level times 200 until the end of the turn. This is basically the only way we can out the Cyber End Dragon, so Good card. Fusion. Fusion summoned by sending face-up monsters from your field to the graveyard as material. Basically, it's like polymerization, except it can only work on face-up monsters. So be careful with filling your board up. Imaginary Arc Turbo. Send one card from your hand to the graveyard. Make one face-up level 9 light attribute monster or one face-up light attribute normal monster on your field, gain 500 attack until the end of the turn. Then if you have Imaginary Actor in your graveyard, the monster gains an additional 1000 attack until the end of the turn. Pretty good. Barrage of Steel. If you have a face-up machine monster on the field, destroy one spell or trap on your opponent's field. This is not that good in this version of the list because we're only playing 4 machine monsters. It was really actually kind of hard for me to deal with spells and traps. But if you have 2 more imaginary reactors, it becomes a lot easier. Type Change Beam. Reveal one monster in your hand. Choose up to 3 face-up monsters on the field. This turn, those monsters become the same type as the monster revealed to meet the requirement. So, if you are going to make your Ashura Star, you reveal your Sword Dancer before you summon it. If you're going to make Landon Star, you reveal Glaciosaurus before you summon it. If you're going to make Vitra Star, you reveal your Serpainter before you summon it. And if you're going to make Hercules Star, you're going to reveal Magic Juggler before you summon it. Excellent. You just basically make your opponent's monsters vulnerable to your effects. Negate attack. When an opponent's monster declares an attack, negate the attack. This turn, your opponent cannot declare an attack. And Buffered Slime. When your opponent's level 8 or lower monster declares an attack, send the top card of your deck to the graveyard. This turn, you take no battle damage. Then if your life points are 3,000 or higher, you take 2,000 damage. This card is not as good as it used to be. There are a lot of level 9s and level 10s running around on the ladder right now, and it can be very difficult to deal with them. Okay, that's the main deck. Then we have Metarion Hercules Star. This is a cyborg fusion monster. Level 9 light, 2800 attack, 2500 defense. Requires Imaginary Actor and Magic Juggler. Place one card from your graveyard on the bottom of your deck. Then either shuffle 3 monsters from your opponent's graveyard into the deck, or shuffle up to 2 face-up spellcaster monsters on your opponent's field into the deck. This is probably the best removal I've ever seen in Rush. It's excellent, and you should definitely play this card. I can't believe we got it for free. Metarion Landon Star. This is a level 9 cyborg fusion monster. Requires Imaginary Actor and Glaciosaurus. Send one card from your hand to the graveyard. Make one face-up monster on your opponent's field. Lose 1,500 attack and defense until the end of the turn. Or all face-up dinosaur monsters on your opponent's field lose 2,000 attack and defense until the end of the turn. This is another way that you can out a card like Blue Eyes or Ancient Gear Golem or the Cyber End Dragon. You can reduce attack points by 1,500. Even if it's not a dinosaur, it'll work fine. Metarion Ashura Star. This card is fantastic. Level 9 light cyborg monster, 2800 attack, 2500 defense. Imaginary Actor plus Sword Dancer. Send the top card of your deck to the graveyard. Either destroy one face-down card on your opponent's field, monster, spell, or trap, or one face-up cyber monster on your field gains attack equal to the total attack of all face-up warrior monsters on your opponent's field times, their attack points until the end of the turn. So you can absorb literally all of your opponent's attack points and then attack one of their monsters and you win the game. Pretty good. Then lastly, we have Metarion Vitra Star. Requires Imaginary Actor plus Serpainter. No requirements, so this card costs nothing. Choose one monster on your opponent's field and change it to face-up attack or face-down defense position, or destroy dragon monsters on your opponent's field up to the number of cyborg-type monsters on your field. Unfortunately, both Ancient Gear Golem and Cyber End Dragon cannot be destroyed if you flip them face down. Ancient Gear Golem has 3,000 defense points, and Cyber End Dragon has exactly 2,800 defense points for some reason. So it's a little bit annoying, but you can still use this card to remove a lot of dangerous threats. It's probably the weakest one of the Metarion cards, which is why it's the super rare, because it's not easy for you to get multiple cyborg monsters out at the same time. And even if you got 2 cyborg monsters out at the same time, that effect of destroying 2 dragons your opponent controls is still not as good as potentially shuffling them back into the deck with Hercules Star. So we're basically running Vitra Star to make sure that we always have a fusion target. Being able to play more fusion monsters and more fusion cards in the deck is really, really good. It is possible that if you were playing a full version of the deck with 3 copies of Imaginary Reactor, you would, instead of cutting one of each of these, you would just cut all the Serpainters and run 1 more Landon Star and 1 more Hercules Star instead. That's probably better, although it is notable to say that there are dragon decks on the ladder, and Vitra Star is probably the one of these that's the easiest to actually make use of without needing Type Change Beam. Okay, let's take a look at the replay. Alright, so we're going first. We have Imaginary Arc Turbo, Type Change Beam, Fusion, and Sword Dancer, along with Imaginary Actor in our hand. This is really good. This is basically the best hand we could possibly have asked for. So we're just going to set 3 here, and then we're going to play our 1 Sword Dancer. We're going to keep Imaginary Actor in our hand. As long as he doesn't hit the Fusion, then no matter what card we draw, we can use the Type Change Beam along with the Fusion and the Imaginary Actor to pop off. Opponent's turn, they're going to summon Ultimate Flag Beast Boltricorn, mill 1, and now I can't use my Imaginary Arc Turbo until the end of my turn. Then he summons the Proto Cyber Dragon, tribute them both for Ancient Gear Golem, normal summon the Proto Cyber Dragon and the Assault Cannon. Now he's going to attack and destroy my Sword Dancer. I can't respond, of course. 25, 12, and 11. Alright, it's our turn. We draw. We're going to activate Type Change Beam and reveal Sword Dancer. Now we change all 3 of his monsters into warrior monsters. Normal summon Sword Dancer and Imaginary Actor, activate Fusion, and we fusion summon our ace monster, Materion Asura-Star. Activate Asura-Star's effect. We raise its attack points equal to the number of attack points of all other monsters on the field that are warriors. We attack into the Proto Cyber Dragon for 7,000, and that is game. There you go. That's the power of the Materion Cyborg deck. You use Type Change Beam to force your opponent's monsters into whatever type you want. You beat them down, and you win the game with fusions. My name is Serafi, and I was thrilled to have all of you with me.